Good morning, everyone. First, I want to say how honored I am to stand before you today. It means so much to be here in a room full of strong, resilient women. And we're all here for one reason: hope. Hope that no matter what we go through, no matter what we face, there is light ahead. But hope isn't easy to hold on to. Hope is something that I personally had to fight for. I am a mixed girl who has always felt like I was in between. For some people, I was too black, I was too white, I was too proper. I dressed a certain way, I should have dressed this way. And I never really felt like I could be myself, that I had to fit into this tiny box. And for a long time, I thought that was a bad thing. I wondered if I needed to shrink myself to fit in, to be less of who I was, just to make others comfortable. But as I've grown, I've realized that God didn't create me to fit in. He created me to stand out. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and to not harm you, plans to give you a hope and future." I've held on to this verse through some of the hardest moments of my life. I grew up in a faithful home. My dad's side of the family is filled with pastors, reverends, bishops, anything you can think of. Church wasn't something that we just did on Sundays. It was a part of who we were. I believed with all my heart that if I just prayed hard enough, everything would be okay. But, life happens. In 2017, my stepdad got sick. I remember standing by his bedside, praying with everything in me, praying for him to be better, because you're never ready to lose a loved one. And my prayers worked. He got better. A few months later, he fell sick again. And again, I prayed and I prayed. When he found out that I prayed for him the first time, he gave me his personal Bible, something that meant so much to him that he had since he was a little boy. And I thought it was a sign, a promise that God answers prayers exactly the way we want him to. But when he fell sick the second time, he ended up passing away. And then, a couple years later, in 2020, loss came again. I lost my grandmother in March. And it was hard, because it was right when COVID hit, and she was currently living in Maryland at the time, and the world was shut down. I didn't get to say goodbye to her. I couldn't attend a funeral for her. I just had to accept that she was gone. And that broke me. And before my heart even began to heal in some type of way, December came, and my grandfather got sick. I begged God. I pleaded him not to take my grandfather. But on Christmas Eve, he was gone. I remember sitting in my room, feeling hollow, questioning everything. Why would God let me hurt this much? Why would he take away people that I loved? I felt abandoned. I felt like my prayers didn't matter. I entered a crisis of faith. With my aunt helping me, I learned something, that God doesn't always answer prayers in the way that we accept, but that doesn't mean he's not listening. At the end of the day, my grandparents were hurting. They were sick, and God relieved them of their pain. Sometimes his answer is in the strength he gives us to keep going. Romans 8:18 says, "I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us." And I'm not going to stand here on stage and say that I'm where I want to be in my relationship with God. But who is? We can always grow. We can get closer. And we just have to keep believing. my suffering was shaping me. I struggled with a lot of anxiety, and I lost a lot of my confidence. If you asked me 4 years ago to stand on this stage and speak in front of any of you, I would say no. But over time, I realized something, that the people that I lost weren't really gone. They were guiding me. My grandfather had a passion for photography, and when I picked up a camera, I felt close to him. What started as just a way to remember him became a way to heal and a way to find myself again. And now, I stand before you as the first female Black student body president of Leesburg High School. And I am the only female photographer who has served as the team photographer for both our football and our basketball teams on campus. And through my journey, I have not inspired not just other young women, but also young men to pursue photography. But my story doesn't end here. This is just the beginning. I have found my purpose in sports media, a field where women, especially Black women, are often overlooked. I know stepping into this space wasn't going to be easy. I have faced backlash, I've not gotten job opportunities, and I've had a lot of doubt from peers about stepping into this. There will always be some type of resistance, but I also know that I was created for this, that God wants me on this path. I was created to break barriers, to create space for girls who will come after me. With the support of my admin and the community, I've been able to work with almost every high school in the area with their sports teams. Because hope isn't just about believing things will get better. It's about being the reason to get better. Psalms 46:5 says, God is within her, she will not fail. God will help her at break of day. So to the girls in this room who feel unseen, to the women who feel like their prayers have gone unanswered, to the person who wonders if the pain will ever stop, you're not alone. Look to your neighbor. You are not alone. Last night, before the opening ceremony for prom court, me and my fellow contestants, we were completely nervous. We were shaking, we were backstage, and even though we were running against each other, in the moment, we took time and prayed together. Prayed that no matter who wins, we'll have a good time. No matter what life brings us, we will always be friends and that we will continue our life together. And that was something that has truly held on to me because even though we were running against each other, we still united in the hands of God. So to all my ladies, God sees you, He hears you, and He is preparing you for something greater. The pain, the suffering that you are facing, He's preparing you. He is making you stronger because in the end, He knows what you can do. So keep pushing, keep believing, keep standing tall in who you are, and most importantly, never stop hoping. I want to say thank you for letting me share some words of wisdom.